Okay, my lovelies, just relaxing on your mats. Taking a few moments just to settle and just tune in to how your body's feeling. Noticing anything today that you need to be gentle with. So observing Satya and Ahimsa, truth and non-harm. And just drawing your awareness to your breath. Enjoy the feeling of breathing down to the belly. And then maybe gradually from the belly, just expanding into the chest area and bringing the breath up. How does that feel in the back of your body as you lie against the mat? Does the breath feel easy today, or is it restricted or shallow? And then we'll also ground down through the soles of our feet. So imagining tree roots extending from the soles, burying deep into the earth, and just having that sense of connecting to your root chakra and feeling grounded and stable. So just awareness of the root now at the base of the spine. How does that feel for you? And then noticing your sacral below the navel, linked with your lower back as well and your digestive system. And then solar plexus above the navel, mid part of our body, linked with our confidence and energy. Tune into your heart center now, Anahata. And how does this connect and feel through your shoulders and arms? These are all connected with the heart energy. And then throat, Vishuddhi. Noticing the neck, but also the lower part of the jaw is connected with our throat energy. And then finally the third eye, and then your crown, Ajna and Sahasrara. Just checking in with how it feels around the top of the head. Okay, so I'm going to join you lying down and then we'll start stretching. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, taking your right arm up and over, allowing the hand to fall to the floor behind you, and then just lift the toes of the right foot, so flexing into that right side. And then just a lovely long stretch here, starting to open up through this side, Pingala, our masculine energy. And then gently just point your toes on the right foot. Lovely stretch over the leg. And then when you're ready, exhale, just take your arm down to the side of your body. Palms up just for a moment into Shavasana. And then inhale, left side, arm over. And then lift the toes of your left foot into a flexed position, pushing into the heel. Lovely stretch in the calf muscle there. And then reaching up to the fingertips. Gently point the toes now on the left. Ida, our feminine side this is. And then when you're ready, just relax. Take the arm down on the exhale. Palms up for a moment, Shavasana. Just relax the back for a few moments. And then when you're ready, take both arms over. Let the chin tuck in gently, and then we'll flex the feet and point the toes and flex again and then point again, and just moving the ankles backwards and forwards. We can reach up with the arms and feel the shoulder blades pull from the spine. And then when you're ready, exhale, come arms down. Palms up for a moment. Just take a moment to observe. Just notice your body. And then we'll draw the right knee into the chest, hands around your shin, taking a nice deep breath. And then exhale, coming up. And then inhale when you're ready to come down. Other side. So nice deep breath in, belly up to chest. Exhale as you come up. Squeeze all the air out, holding the breath just gently. And then inhale when you're ready to come down. And then both knees into chest, and we'll just do that again. So nice deep breath. Exhale up. Squeezing all the stagnant air out. And then inhale down. Hold on to your knees. And then just have a nice rock from side to side. Gently just roll in some circles, massage your back. And then the other way a few times. Lovely. So we'll come up to seated for Paramuktasana 1. Come onto your cushions and we'll just warm up all our joints. Sitting in whichever way is comfortable for you. Okay, lovely. Joining me in Chin Mudra. Nice tall spines. Notice when you come into this position whether you slouch, whether it's very natural to or just lifting. Okay, close your eyes gently. And then when you're ready, take the chin down to chest. Just pause for a moment. And then bring the chin up to the ceiling, nice and slowly. Opening through our throat center. And then down again. Really trying to relax the shoulders a bit more if they feel tense. And then once more up. And then coming back to center. Tilting the head to the right. And then over to your left. And then same again, just noticing if there's any difference in sensation one side to the left and then on the other side. And then coming back to centre after the left. And now turning the head as if we're looking over the right shoulder. And then left. And same again, right. And then left. Coming back to centre. Just drop the chin to chest and just take a full rotation of the head all the way around. Nice slow movement. Firstly, one direction and then the other. Does that feel easy to move today? Coming back to centre. When you're ready, just blinking your eyes open if you haven't already, and then hands out. So thumbs in, thumbs out, and just warm up our fingers. Sometimes our fingers will feel stiff. And then palms up, and then down. And rotating a few times. And the other way. Lovely. Palms up. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And just thinking about your elbows, how they feel today. Are they achy or quite open? And then we'll start to rotate. Just loosen up anything that feels tight here. And then the other way. Lovely, and release. So just coming off cushions and keep them aside. Extending legs out. We'll just warm up the lower part of the body. So toes, open and closing. Just feeling that temperature difference as you open and close. And then pointing gently and flex. And then one foot over the other, gently rotating. Just a few times each way. Do these movements in our sleep. Other side. And the other way a few times. So important just to sort of warm up all of our joints before we move. Okay, knee, right knee. So hand under the thigh and just gently checking in. How's it feel today? And then round at the shin, and then we'll just warm up hip. And the other way a few times. Lovely. Left knee. And then your hip. Now another way. Oh, lovely. Okay, draw your feet together, come into butterfly. Just for a little stretch here, just let the legs hang out to the side. Notice how your lower back feels here as well. Taking a few deep breaths, maybe just close the eyes, just momentarily. How do your hips feel? Okay. Lovely, and release. So I'd like to come onto all fours for cat-cow, that little 10 movement sequence that we've started doing. So joining me in the neutral spine, I'll go through the 10 movements just so that we get used to it again. Okay, so neutral spine here is 1. And then we're going to exhale and sort of stretch up into cat, so arching the back into 2. And then drop the belly into cow for 3. Just pause here a moment, just in case your lower back is a little bit tender, if this is the first little bend into the back today. And then 4, we're going to draw the right knee to nose and arch the back up a little. 5, we extend the leg back and drop the belly. 6, we lower the knee down, but also we bring the left knee to nose. And then 7, we extend that leg back. 8, we bring that knee down and arch up into cat. 9, we drop the belly into cow. And 10, we come back to neutral spine. Feels good, doesn't it, that one? It's a little bit more interesting than just the normal cat-cow. So, okay, we'll do that again. So joining me in position 1, neutral spine. And then 2, we arch up into cat. 3, drop the belly to cow. 4, draw the right knee to nose and then arch your back a little. 5, extending leg out. 6, lower down and draw left knee to nose. 7, extend your leg out. 8, lower but arch the back. 9, drop the belly to cow. And 10, back to neutral spine. Lovely. Just take yourself back into Hatha for a moment. Knees can come wide. And just keep the arms stretched out in front of you. Feel that lovely stretch into the upper back. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe a nice sigh. And then we'll walk the hands back to our body. Turn your toes under for a little toe stretch and stretch through your plant of the feet. And then just rotate your wrists around so your fingers can point towards your toes. Don't overstretch here, but it is quite nice to feel a lovely inner arm stretch. So that's your lung and heart meridian. Okay, and release. So we'll come up to standing. Lovely. All warmed up. Okay, look, we'll do an earth sequence and then we're going to come into some sun and moon salutations today. So joining me on the left side of your mat. And then we'll make a diamond shape with our fingers. Deep breath in. And then exhale, arms round and down. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then right foot to the side. Coming into our gentle squat. Bending the knees, coming down only as far to the earth as you want to. And down. As we come up, hands to ceiling, turn to your right. Right leg is lengthened, left leg slightly bent beneath you. And then just as we move in this movement, just how's your balance today? How do your arms feel? How do your shoulders feel? Depends what you've been up to, doesn't it? Other side. Sometimes we can do this movement and feel very light, and then other times things can feel heavy in the body. If you've been physically active, you might feel it in your arms or shoulders. One more. Coming to the front, and in our fold forward, so breathing in and exhale. Bend your knees a little if you need to, if your lower back is tender, and you can pause here if it feels good just to stretch through the back. Inhale when you're ready to come up anytime. And up. Lovely. And right foot to left. Hands to heart. Lovely. That's warmed us up a little bit. It's such a nice gentle sequence. I think it's always good to, before we go into anything faster, just to get the back moving and just see how we all feel, because, you know. Right, we're going to do a sun salutation. So joining me at the top of your mat, we'll take the first half nice and slowly and just feel into our bodies. So deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, gentle back bend, salute the sun. And then folding forwards. Bend your knees again if you need to. And then flatten the back, looking ahead of you. You can rest the hands on the shins. Hands down to mat and the right leg comes back. Knee comes down. Just rest for a moment into this lovely lunge, equestrian pose, gazing upwards. And then turning the back toes under, we'll come into down dog. And really ground the base of each finger here in the palm of your hand, lifting that tailbone. Feeling strong through the arms. Doesn't matter if the feet are down, the heels are down, or the legs are straight. That's not important. Nice strong back. Deep breath in. Exhale, just draw the knees down, buttocks back to heels, all on that exhale. And then inhale, we'll flow through the pose of 8 curves. Let's come into Sphinx. Again, just gently coming into feeling our lower back here. Everyone might be tender. Is everyone all right in their back today?
No.
No? Okay. Be very gentle.
Okay.
Be very... Right, okay. Coming up. Onto knees if you need to first, or straight up into down dog. Okay, so left foot comes forward between the hands. If you can, don't worry if you can't, just join me in the standing position at the end where we raise the arms and salute the sun. Okay. We'll do the other side and then I'll let you lie down. Okay, deep breath in. And exhale. Lovely big inhale. And let that all out as we come forward. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, drop, and then the left leg comes back. again, take your time to come into this pose. It's really nice to not whiz through these poses and have a lovely stretch through your hip flexors here. Down dog, so turn the back toes under. Nice strong pose. Deep inhale. And exhale as you come down and back. Flow through into cobra or sphinx if you wish. Whatever feels right. If you need to be flat to the mat, that's okay. Listen to your body. Okay, coming up into down dog. Lovely. Right foot forwards. Gazing up. Feet together at the top of the mat. And sweeping up. Lovely. Who feels good? Was about time. Right, have a lie down, loves. The best bit. It is a good bit, not just because it's restful, but it gives us some mental space just to observe our body here. If we were to whiz into go through to the next thing, you'd sort of lose that pause and the juiciness that you get from your sequence or from your pose. It's really good to just reflect just for a few breaths. How does it feel through the lower back? How does it feel through perhaps the legs and buttocks? Do you feel more able to breathe? Do the lungs feel more open? Perhaps it feels strong in the arms or the wrists feel quite good. So just take a few breaths. Can you relax just a little bit more? There's always a bit of tension in the body somewhere. Okay, let's draw the right knee into chest and then the left knee. Gently rocking. So if people have got a little bit of tender backs today, we'll do bridge, because this can be a very nice gentle one for the body. So bring the feet to the mat, about hip distance apart, close to the buttocks, and then palms facing down. Okay, before we move, we're just going to flow with this. We're not going to come up and pause for too long, but engaging the lower belly and pulling in on the pelvic diaphragm just gently, and then with our next in breath we'll push up. So inhale, push through the heels, lift up, and then on the exhale simply start to roll down from the upper back, middle back, lower back and tailbone. And then when you're ready to breathe in, push through the heels, deep long breath. And then exhale and just roll down, and just imagine your back is moving like a wave rolling up and down the beach, and just enjoy this lovely flex to the body. So just use your breath and come up and down in your own time, but really follow the breath. So a lovely deep inhale, a nice long exhale. Let's do one more together. And rolling down. And then once you've finished that last one, just extend your legs into Shavasana and just have a little moment. Can you feel that? It is, isn't it? It's so gentle, but it's a nice little warmth and buzz going on, probably in the backs of your thighs. And just as you lie here, sometimes it just takes a few moments to be still, just to notice a lovely warmth in your lower spine and your lower back. Perhaps it feels, I like to say, the feeling feels a bit more spacious, a little bit more open. It's a nice little thing to do for your back, that bridge. Okay, so as we're lying here, it's always quite nice to come into the twist as well. So the spine, we've come backwards and forwards with the flex. So draw your knees into chest. Have a little rock for a moment. It's nice to massage the back if you're a little bit tender in the back today. And then bring your feet back to that same position where we were before. And we'll come into, again, a very relaxing, moving twist. So arms can come out level with the shoulders. We're familiar with this one. So a little bit like using the knees as windscreen wipers. We'll take a nice deep breath in together. And then as you exhale, just drop the knees towards the right. They don't have to come all the way to the mat, but just wherever they come. And then as you inhale, bring the knees up to the center. And then left as you exhale. And then keep doing that. Breathe into center. Exhale right. Breathe into center. Exhale left. And just with your own breath and timing, just enjoy this movement. If you want to pause from one side to the other momentarily and just see if there's a bit more stretch here, you can. And as you do this, you might find that the legs just naturally come a little bit lower and you start to feel the stretch a little bit more up the side of the body and into the back. A nice stretch over the quads and your knees. So we'll go to the right and then the left. And then we'll finish with the knees raised. It's always nice to end on an even movement of the body. So when your knees come up, just take Shavasana again. Bring the arms down to the same side of your body. And just notice where you're finding any energy movement in your body, the prana, the chi. Is it a very different place from the bridge after effects? Where does it feel nourishing in your body? Very good for your gallbladder coming into twists. The gallbladder meridian is on the outside of our body. Okay, so bring knees in, right one, then left one. Have a little gentle rock. A few little circles. And then from here, if you want to, come into happy baby. Just notice if this is a pose that your body can come into today. So feet facing up to the ceiling, knees come out to the side, and maybe just take a gentle rock. And you can feel this more on the middle to upper back area, which is quite nice. And then draw the knees in and you can release. It's nice to hold that pose for a few moments. It can get quite intense otherwise. Okay, loves. So draw the knees into chest, have a rock. And then we'll come up for a salutation. We'll do the self-salutation today. So joining me standing. We've done the sun. Okay. This does involve pigeon. Everyone knows pigeon, this pose. So if your knees aren't going to enjoy this one today, just come onto all fours and just do a little gentle cat-cow instead. So please listen to your body. If you know it just isn't going to work, just do that alternative. So hands to heart center. Take a nice deep breath in. And release the arms. We're going to step back with the left leg into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So hips are still facing forward and our arms are raised in a nice parallel position here. Okay, ground your front foot. If you need to, for balance, sometimes just taking a little bit of space between where the heels are will benefit you. Okay, come into Warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back. Gazing to the middle finger of your front hand. And then elbow to the thigh as we come into Parsvakonasana, side lunge. And really enjoy this lovely stretch to the side of your body. Again, gallbladder channel is stimulated here. Rotate your left arm down, and as we do, we're going to bend the right knee into pigeon. So gently. If you know this is not going to be a pose you can do, just come into cat-cow. Okay. Right, so you're starting to feel that lovely deep stretch in your right buttock now, perhaps. If your body is screaming at you, if there's any pain anywhere, always come out of the pose. Who likes this pose? Yeah. For those of you that do like this pose, just take a moment onto the elbows. And then just feel that lovely deep stretch in the buttock and perhaps now into the thigh. Okay. Coming up gently. Turning your back toes under, we're going to come into down dog. But when we come out of this position, do it really slowly, because it's really nice to feel all the juiciness out of that compression. So lifting that tailbone, nice strong arms and flat back. And then we'll take a deep breath in, lower the knees down and bring the forehead to the mat. And we'll just do 2 crown rolls here. So inhale and just roll onto the top of your head, onto your crown. And then exhale, roll back to your forehead. And just once more, it feels really lovely and stimulating onto the scalp and the top of your head. And as you roll back to your forehead, just come into a comfortable child's pose of your choice. So maybe knees wide, and you can stretch the arms out in front of you if you want to. Just take a moment to breathe and rest. And just feel whatever you feel in the body. Okay, lift the head nice and slowly so we don't have any dizziness. Bring the hands back, draw the knees together, and we'll come to standing. We'll do the other side of that little lovely self-salutation sequence. So I'm just going to turn this side. So really, if pigeon doesn't suit you, literally just come straight into that cat-cow. Hands to heart. Deep breath in. And release the arms. Right leg comes back. Warrior 1. Make sure your feet really do grab the mat, because these new mats, they can be a little bit slippy. They're a bit furry, aren't they? So that it's even more important to really grip, and feel that connection with your feet to the mat. Actually makes you more aware. Okay, warrior 2, left arm forward, right arm back, gazing at the middle finger of your front hand, drishti. Nice relaxed shoulders. Side lunge. Lovely stretch all down the side of your body. And then coming into pigeon. Rotate the right arm down, bend the left knee, only if this feels right. Please always choose something else if you know it really doesn't suit you today. Okay. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel that stretch start to develop in your left side. Come onto elbows if you want to. Don't have to if you don't want to. But notice when you come into this pose whether you feel tight in your tummy, whether your abdominal muscles tend to sort of clench and they're not relaxed to breathe. Deep breaths, expanding the ribs, feeling that lovely, intense sensation in the thigh and buttock. Okay, lifting up nice and slowly. Hands to the mat. Turn the back toes under. A nice slow movement out of pigeon into down dog. And again, feeling all the fluids of lymph and blood and flow through your leg again. Okay, knees down, forehead to mat. And then just 2 crown rolls as we did before. So inhale as you come onto crown. exhale as you roll back to your forehead. And just once more. And then when you're finished with that, just come into a child's pose. You can either have arms extended in front of you or hands behind to the feet, whatever feels nice. Okay. And then gently, when you're ready, coming up, just rotate yourself onto the mat, come into Shavasana for a moment. And notice how you feel. Some very different movements in that little sequence from the sun salutation. It's nice sometimes to think about which one you prefer or which one you prefer today. Because every day you do something, one time you'll enjoy it, another time you think, oh, that didn't feel as good today, or this felt better. So it's nice to really observe your practice. Which parts of these sequence does your body feel like it benefits, or when is your mind still or involved in the present moment rather than thinking about the past or the future? So can you relax a bit more? Can you relax your buttocks? Can you relax through the back? Even your facial muscles. We're always usually holding some tension here around the eyes or the jaw. So bring the knees in, right knee first, then left. And have a nice little rock. Rolling in some circles. So bring the feet to the mat. We'll come into thread the needle, which is often sometimes what we do in a warm-up, but bring your right foot onto your left knee. And then we'll hug round that left thigh and draw the leg towards us and just see how that feels, especially after we've been in pigeon. This is also called reverse pigeon. So those of you that find the other pigeon pose difficult, this is the alternative that you can come into. Are you tense in your tummy? Are you tense around your right thigh and knee? And can you gently let go of the muscles, perhaps in the right calf as well? And just see if you can soften. And just gently release, and we'll swap to the other side. So it's nice to do this. For those of you that can't do the pigeon in that other sequence, it's good to come into this one. So drawing your right leg towards you. There's usually always something else in yoga we can do if certain poses aren't accessible. So again, just see if you can relax the tight muscles you might be holding in the left side. Soften the belly. And just notice what you're thinking. Just take a moment to witness your thoughts and be curious, be that observer for the moment. And then gently release. Hug the knees in if that feels good. Have a little rock. We'll roll up to seated for some floor postures. So, okay. Let's come into head to knee. So as we just have our legs extended, just walk out the pads of your buttocks so sit bones feel connected. Left foot into the top of the right thigh. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of Hatha style and then a yin sort of energy with this one. So flex your foot if you can. You're going to feel that stretch. If you need anything under your knees, then that's fine. Inhale, lovely tall spine as we lift up. And with a nice long extended spine, we just lean forwards and drop the hands down. You might not feel like you come very far. This is just sort of hinging from the hips, not the waist. And with that flexed foot, you can feel that lovely stretch in the back of your leg, and that is targeting your bladder meridian. So, is your right knee tense? Can you just relax it if it's all tensed up? Just take a few moments to just breathe, and on the exhale is the opportunity just to see if there's a few millimeters of movement. But only if the body wants to. Don't let the ego take over and think it must reach further. It's just enjoying what your body wants to do today. Listening to your lower back as well, if it is tender. And so if you want to, come into a little bit more of a yin energy. So relax the flex of your foot. Let your leg roll outwards if it wants to. And rather than being rigid with your back, you can just let it all curl now and soften, and let the head drop forwards. Relax into your upper body and your shoulders, and everything can just be passive and a bit more floppy. And just see if that feels different in your body, if it feels quite nice to surrender and be passive in the pose. Keep relaxing if you feel tension around your knees or calves. And a few deep breaths, belly breaths. What's your body saying to you? If you could have a little internal conversation with you and yourself, your body and your mind, what amusing dialogue would come out? And take a breath in. Let's come up. Extend your legs out. What do you prefer, the Hatha or the Yin energy? Where you're active in the Hatha and then the Yin is a lot more passive. Yeah. Okay, let's do the other side. So right foot to the top of the left thigh. We'll start with the Hatha bit, which is active. It's feeling into the muscle, you know, so having that flexed foot will help. So, and a lovely tall spine, nice and rigid and folding, hinging from your hips, and just let the arms float down. And you can see with the posture that I'm in, I literally don't tilt forward very much at all. If you need to support your right leg, use the cushion or a blanket. So a few deep breaths, and you feel your muscles are engaged and active here. Your quad muscle, your thigh, will probably feel like it's doing something. And just checking in with how this feels with the breath. And then with the yin, if you want to relax your foot, don't come out of the flex. Let your leg roll maybe to the side, and then just let your whole body soften a bit more. The spine can curve rather than being straight and rigid. You can let the head hang forwards and become heavy. Can you relax the shoulders a bit more and let the upper back soften? Can you all notice this when I direct you? There's always a little bit of tension still somewhere, isn't there? A few deep belly breaths here. Notice where the breath moves in your body. And then gently let's come up. Just have a lie back now, because we've come forward and held that a little while. So I just want you to feel your spine as you roll down to the mat now. And it might still feel a little bit achy and like you need to move it in the opposite direction. So that's what we'll do in a moment, is just counter pose. So as you lie here, can you feel chi or prana move through your body? Are there any patches where you feel warmth or perhaps coolness or tingling, or just where it just feels different temperatures? Sometimes the inner thighs, maybe the sort of the lower part of the ribs can sometimes feel sensation. It's very subtle. So give your tail a wag if you need to rock the pelvis to just be comfortable. Taking a few deep breaths. And then we'll draw the knees in, have a little hug. So the reason we've got our cushion, our pillow, blankets even. So roll up to seated, and we'll come into this really lovely gentle posture, which is a yin pose actually. If you can make your blankets a square like that, sort of mimicking a sofa cushion, and then we're going to take it behind us, but not right behind us. Can you see I've got about 4 inches or so there? The reason is I don't want to curve into the lumbar. What I want to do is curve more into the thoracic and upper body. So we're literally just going to lie down. And it really is only a few inches off of the mat. And we're not very far off, so your neck should feel nice and supported here. You can just take your arms wherever. It's such a gentle posture. It's really nice if you do this at home with your, like a square sofa cushion, just lying back over it. It just sort of opens up through the chest. It lets the shoulders roll backwards. And a nice pose to end the day if you've been hunching forward all day. Can you relax even the places that seem relaxed, but you find a little bit of tension? Who likes this pose? It is nice and gentle. Okay, so gently draw the knees in. And just roll up so that you can just pull that blanket away from you and come down again. And it's so subtle, but you can notice a lovely little difference in your body. And you're flat to the mat. Okay, so I think we've got time for the pose that we use with the bolster and waterfall as well. So come up to seated. I really like this one to end a sort of a gentle class. So if you've got your moon cushion and a bolster, and I just want you to lie it on there, so you're almost creating like a little wedge. And we start by sitting on the end. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. When I lie back, you'll see that my head is completely hanging off the end. I don't want that. I need to wriggle down a little bit so that you can see now my head is supported by the end of the bolster. So if you can just lie back but wriggle yourself down just a tad. I really want your necks to be supported. That's very important. Okay, everyone's going to have a different length body, so to whatever degree you need to wriggle down, but feel very supported by the head and the neck, and then just let your arms rest out to the sides. You can take your legs stretched in front of you if you want to. I don't like that because it curves into my lumbar spine too much. I like to keep my knees bent. and the feet on the mat. And you can just let your knees rest together with your feet wide if you want to. It's quite a nice feeling of stability. But just let yourself stretch through the upper body and the upper chest, which is a position that we rarely come into day to day. Try to relax your thighs and your legs and your buttocks if they're feeling really tense. Just start to take some deep breaths. Let everything just soften and be supported by this bolster. Are all your head and necks feeling comfortable? I hope so. If you want to, you can take your arms overhead and just hold your wrists and feel a nice stretch here. If that feels good. If not, just take them back where they were, or you can hang them out to the side momentarily in cactus arms. And you will feel a lovely stretch into the upper part of your chest. I wouldn't hold this too long because it can feel quite heavy on the arms. And just rest the arms down wherever you want them. Who likes this one?
No,
I know Joan loves it.
no, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
You get used to it, don't you? I think it's one that you can start to feel the benefits after a while. Sometimes it's quite nice if you've got your pillow. Keep calling it a pillow. The blanket. If you pop it under your buttocks, under your bottom, it just feels a little bit more supportive. I perhaps should have said that earlier. You can see what I've done. I've just added another little bit of length to the bolster. Just take a few more breaths. Sometimes it has a feeling of just being supported. We do a lot of things for other people, us girlies. So sometimes just having something that supports you now and then is a welcome feeling. Okay, so gently lift your head, roll your body up, use your arms to push yourself up, and then just move all the props to the side. Come onto the mat into Shavasana. And then if you have got, keep some of those bits handy. Just have a few moments, just feel into how the back feels, especially if it was a bit tender earlier. It can often feel just a little bit of relief. And then if you want to, you can come into waterfall for a few moments. Raised legs. If you've got your moon cushion or your blanket, just gently lift yourself up into a little bit of a bridge, pop it under your buttocks and then raise the legs. If you're quite happy where you are, you can stay there. It's up to you. Just as we wind down towards relaxation. Nice long sigh if that feels good. It's very good for your heart to raise the legs. If your eyes are closed, just see if you can gaze forwards towards your third eye, that space between your eyebrows. Noticing any colours and shapes or images that come to mind. If you need to bend your knees a little more, you can do, just whatever feels most comfortable in this position. And then gently, let's just take one more breath. Start to bend your knees, lower the feet down. Just pull out whatever you've used to lift the cushion or the blanket. Have a moment in Shavasana. Just checking in with your body. So as you lie here for a few moments, we'll just do the 3-part yogic breath, the Dirga breath. So we're going to breathe into the belly, then into the chest, and then up towards the collarbones, up towards the head, in a nice fluid breath in. So just joining me, belly, chest, head, and a lovely slow exhale. Relaxing your whole body, a nice deep 3-part breath. And a few more. One more. And so now if you just want to draw your blankets over you, put moon cushions under the knees, get cozy and comfortable and come into relaxation. Make sure you're nice and warm. So the relaxation part, lying in Shavasana, is just as important as your practice, as your warm-up, your breathing, the pranayama. As you lie here, you are beginning to practice what we call pratyahara, which is withdrawal of the senses with the eyes closed. Just notice your breath as you lie here for a few moments. Is it naturally slightly deeper than when we started, maybe? Start to relax your head and your face, your forehead. Soften the muscles that circle your eyes. Relax any tension in your cheeks. And maybe just let the mouth open and the jaw soften. Just check in to see if there's any tension in your neck and any slight alterations you can make, relaxing your shoulders and arms. Softening the hands and fingers. And then I just want you to notice if there's any tension in the front of your body. Relaxing the belly, the sides of your waist. And then just telling the body to relax all of the muscles through the back of your body that align along your spine. Let the buttocks relax all around the pelvis. Thighs and knees. Shins and calves all the way down to your feet and toes. Just relaxing everything. The breath is gentle. Just take a few moments to now witness your thoughts. I'd like you to imagine you're sitting in your garden on a sunny day. It's a comfortable heat. You're in a comfortable chair. And to start with, you may be alone and just enjoying either being in the sunshine or the shade. But just glance around your garden, noticing all of the different plants, the flowers, the colours, the different shades of green. Noticing any trees that you have in your eye line. Noticing the grass. Perhaps you'd like to gaze up to the sky. Are there any clouds? Maybe there's a cloud that's created a funny little shape, a heart or animal. It's always fun to make shapes out of clouds. Notice if there's a gentle breeze or whether it's actually quite a still day. Notice the scent in the air. Can you smell the distant scent of the sea? Any birds? Little butterflies? Noticing the sounds close to you and possibly the sounds a little bit more distant that you're familiar with. Voices or just the hum of traffic. In your mind, you may be able to hear a distant radio and what song would be playing. Perhaps it's just quiet and you can be with your own thoughts and go within. Just have some quiet time now, just enjoying this vision in your mind. So very gently now. No need to move, but just come back to your body with the sound of my voice. Just notice how you're feeling, whether you're very calm, very peaceful, how your body feels, whether your mind is quite clear. Notice if you're reluctant to come back into your day or quite willing. Maybe just starting to move fingers and toes gently now. Noticing how rested you feel. That was literally probably 10 minutes. Maybe just rock the head from side to side. Notice how that feels, and then just coming into any stretch that feels nice. Gently just moving, drawing knees in if that feels nice. How is your battery charged now? Hopefully charged up but relaxed. Yes. So, hug your knees in. Have a nice rock on the back. And then when you're ready, you can just roll up to seated. We'll chant our 3 Oms together. So just gently resting the hands to Chin Mudra. After the 3rd Om, there's just always that moment of silence, just to listen in and to tune in to how you're feeling. So when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Notice if your Oms sounded strong or mine were a bit wobbly today. And then we can bring our hands to heart center. Just rub the palms, feel the heat. And then let's palm the eyes. Gently blinking into the darkness. And then letting the fingers part as you draw the hands to your heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, lovelies.
Thank you.